'Di ba kahapon, eto na nga, kahapon mga kotsero, nagkaroon nga nung napakawalang kuwentang press statement nito si ano, si Pastor Canornio, si Pacquiao. Okey, mga kotsero ulitin ko lang kasi may mga nalilito at nagko-comment na nagmumura na raw ako sa livestream ko. Hindi, kaya ako tinatawag na Pacquiao kasi acronym ng pangalan niya yun, PACQ, PACQ, kaya Pacquiao. Hindi naman ako yung naglagay sa kanya nun. Pinili niya yun para sa sarili niya. Tataka ka. Papakalanan mo yung sarili mo, Pacquiao. So anyway, kahapon nga nag-meltdown siya. Maraming nabisto. Nabisto natin na nagtatago siya doon sa Glory Hole Mountain niya. Sa Glory Mountain niya. Nandoon siya, nagtatago. Kasi, bakit natin nalaman? Kasi, ayun nag-meltdown ng matanda di kinuwento niya na nandun siya nakatago. Yun yung una niyang sinabi. Pangalawa niyang sinabi sa meltdown niya, mga kotsero, umamin siya na hindi nga siya nagpapasahod ng mga empleyado. Inamin niya kahapon, hindi nga talaga siya nagpapasweldo. So paano ngayon yan? Paano ngayon yan? Ngayon, mga kotsero, kakakalkal natin ng mga articles tungkol kay Pacquiao. Nakita nga natin to. Actually, pinakita ko na nga to kahapon. Itong article na to. Ito, ayan. Mega church founder who called himself Son of God was ringleader in criminal enterprise. Ayan. So ngayon, mga kotsero, pinakita ko na sa inyo to kahapon. Pero hindi ko, hindi ko binasa yung buo. The reason kung bakit hindi ko siya binasa ng buo, kasi pag binasa ko yan hanggang ilalim, makikita nyo yung full indictment. Ayan sa ilalim, Ito yung kaso niya, guys. Ito yung kaso niya. Ayan, April 2021, grand jury. So ngayon, mga kotsero, meron kayo ngayong front row seat sa kung anong criminal enterprise meron si Pacquiao. Siyempre, dinownload ko na yan. Ito na siya. So ayun, mga kotsero, bago tayo magpatuloy sa ating topic, tayo muna yung magsha-shoutout sa ating mga kaibigan sa Sendwave. Kaya po ay nasa US, UK, Canada, Italy, France, Spain, Ireland, and Belgium. May pwede na po yung magpadala na yung mga remittances galing sa Pilipinas. Papunta pa lang Pilipinas. Gamit ang Sendwave. Kung kayo ay, syempre, download nyo yung Sendwave app. Pagka-download nyo ng app, gawa kayo ng account, lagay nyo ba account details nyo dyan. At pwede na kayo magpadala sa GCash, sa mga bangko at iba't ibang mga pawn shop sa bansa. At kapag ginamit nyo pa ang promo code na Coach Jarrett, sa inyong unang padala ay makakuha kayo ng karagdagang $20 free credit. Kaya yan, gamitin na si Sendwave for all of your remittance needs. Ito na siya. Front row seat. Hindi ko alam kung meron na nagkwento sa inyo nito, Hindi ko alam. Pero, kung wala pa, di makikita nyo ngayon yung kanyang kaso. Ito yung inihabla sa kanya sa Amerika. Yan. Woo! Ready na ba kayo, guys? Ayan, The United States District Court for the Central District of California. April 2021 grand jury, United States of America versus Apollo Carrion Kibuloy. Ito natin. Apollo Carrion Kibuloy. AKA the appointed son of God, AKA Sir, AKA Pastor, AKA ACQ. Ba't yung sinama yung Pacquiao? Ba't di niya sinama yung Pacquiao? Tapos syempre dito yung ibang ano niya, mga ibang respondents sa kaso or defendants. Yan. No. Si Teresita, Tolibas, Dandan, Tessie, Sisting, TTD. Pangit. Helen Panilag, si HP. Si Pelina, Sis Eng. Si Sis Eng. Ba't ganyan kayo magbigay ng nickname sa sarili nyo? Ba't parang hindi nyo ginagalang ang mga pagkatao nyo? Sis Eng. Ay, nako. Gia Kabaktulan, Marisa Dueñas, Amanda Estopare, Bettina Padilla Roses, a.k.a. Cookie, and Maria De Leon, a.k.a. Louie. Ayan, sila yung defendants. Ayan. Ito yung kaso. Oh, grabe. Ang dami, guys. Ang dami, oh. Conspiracy to engage in sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion, and sex trafficking of children. Sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion. Conspiracy. Marriage fraud. May marriage fraud, guys. May marriage fraud. Fraud and misuse of visas. Bulk cash smuggling. Promotional money laundering, concealment money laundering, international promotional money laundering. Ang dami niyang money laundering, guys. At criminal forfeiture. Say natin, guys, yung kwento. Kasi syempre may ano to eh. Ito yung kaso mismo. Actually, nakasil pa nga yan. Di ko alam ba't nilagay nila sa dyaryo. Ayan o, yan yung nilagay sa dyaryo. O, dyaryo to ng Hawaii. Yan o, Hawaii News Now. So, game. Tingnan natin yung ano ba yung mga kaso. Ayan. I-highlight ko na yung iba para madali yung mahanap. Okay. In around 1998, KOJC founded the Children's Joy Foundation. The stated goal of the CJF was to provide children in the Philippines with various residential services, medical, psychosocial, educational support, and emergency assistance to harness their potential in community and nation building. So ito yung NGO na sinasabi ni Pacquiao, yung Children's Joy. Nabanggit na to kahapon eh. Nabanggit na to kahapon doon sa kanyang video. Tapos, in or around 2007, KOJC began operating CJF in the United States as a registered non-profit charity under Title 6 of the United States Code, Section 501c3. Baka yan yung mga corporation code nila sa states. CJF was registered in the state of California as a foreign non-profit with its principal office located at 127 South Brand Boulevard, Glendale, California. Shoutout sa mga taga Glendale! Malapit sa inyo yung opisina ni Kibuloy. Shoutout sa inyo, John. Tapos, eto na. Punta na tayo dun sa criminal enterprise according to the US grand jury. Under the direction of defendant Kibuloy, KOJC administrators brought certain KOJC workers from the Philippines to the United States to spend long hours illegally soliciting money for KOJC outside of businesses across the United States. So, essentially, kung ano yung ginagawa na sa Pilipinas dati, yung magpapadala sila ng mga bata papunta ng Manila, tapos magkakaroling sa loob ng mga bus, ganyan-ganyan. Yun din yung ginawa nila sa States. Yun ang ginawa nila sa States. KOJC administrators also imposed mandatory daily cash solicitation quotas on such KOJC workers. Siguro naman mga kutsero, hindi na to masasabi ni Kibuloy na kasinungalingan lang. Kasi ito yung indictment eh. Ibig sabihin, dumaan na to sa mata ng district attorney ng California, whichever ano to, district. Siguro hindi niya pwedeng baliwalain lang to at sabihin na, ipakita niyo sa akin ang mukha ng mga nagre-reklamo. Hindi pwede. District attorney to eh. Witness na niya yan. Witness na ng district attorney yan. Ayan. Tapos, when in fact, the money directly financed KOJC's operations and the lavish lifestyles of KOJC leaders, including defendants Kibuloy, Dandan, and Salinas. Ay, grabe. Slavery at its finest. In order to traffic KOJC workers into the United States to solicit for KOJC administrators, including defendants Kibuloy and Dandan, fraudulently obtained United States non-immigrant visas for KOJC workers by falsely representing in visa applications that the workers were traveling to the United States to engage in church-related concerts and similar religious activities, when in reality, they were bringing the KOJC workers to engage in street-level solicitation throughout the country. Wow, pinag-ano niya talaga, no? Ginawa niya talaga silang tawag dito, pulubi. Ayan, no? Street-level solicitation, no? Throughout the country. Ayan, no? Tindi. KOJC administrators maintain the legal immigration status of workers who proved capable of meeting daily casual solicitations by fraudulently obtaining student visas for such workers or by forcing them to enter into sham marriages with other KOJC workers who had already obtained US citizenships. Grabe, ibang level. Ibang level. Ibang level siya. Paano na yan? O yan, dami ditong trolls ngayon ah. Nakaano siguro sila sa akin dahil si Pacquiao ang topic. dami naka-pose sa akin ngayon trolls kasi si Pacquiao ang topic. Anyway, so ito pa pala. So para magpatuloy ang negosyo, para tuloy-tuloy ang negosyo, ang sabi ng indictment, paano ginagawa ng KOJC? Yung mga malalakas makakuha ng solicitation, ipinapakasal nila sa mga dating miyembro ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ who had already obtained US citizenships. These workers in turn stayed in the United States and solicited year-round for KOJC. Hindi lang yun ha. Nag-aano pa sila. Nag-aaral kunyari. Nagbabayad ng tuition fee. Tapos meron pang trafficking of pastorals. Ano yung trafficking of pastorals? Pastorals were young women within KOJC who were selected to work as personal assistants for defendant Kibuloy. Pastorals were recruited by defendant Kibuloy and other KOJC administrators, including Dandan and Salinas, and others known and unknown to the grand jury. Pastorals were typically between the ages of 12 and 25. Ito yung trafficking of children. Kasi nga naman, simula 12 hanggang 18, actually hanggang 17, bata pa yan. They're treated as minors. At wala pa silang legal personality. Bata eh. 'Yon. So, etong matindi. So, sila daw yung naghahanda ng pagkain, naglilinis ng bahay. gave him massages using lotion, and traveled with him on trips throughout the world to include the United States. Eto na ngayon. Pastorals engaged in sex with defendant Kibuloy on a schedule determined by defendants Kibuloy and Dandan and others known and unknown to the grand jury. In what was referred to by the pastorals as night duty, for some pastorals, night duty began before the pastoral reached the age of 18. Actually, mamaya mga kutseri, mapapakita ko sa inyo. Meron 3 witnesses who said na nag-start sila. Yung isa nag-start parang 15 years old, yung isa parang 12. Basta 3 yun eh. Na nakasulat din dito. Defendant Kibuloy and other KOJC administrators coerced pastorals into having night duty, that is, sex with defendant Kibuloy, under the threat of physical and verbal abuse and eternal damnation by defendant Kibuloy and other KOJC administrators. So kapag hindi ka raw pumayag na maipagtalik kay Kibuloy, gugulpihin ka, aabusuhin ka ng salita, at sasabihin pupunta ka sa impyerno dahil ang tunay na Diyos ay naririto at gusto kang kangkangin. Kultong-kulto ah. Kultong-kulto tayo dyan ah. Defendant Kibuloy and other KOJC administrators told pastorals that performing night duty as God's will was God's will and a privilege as well as a necessary demonstration of the pastoral's commitment to give her body to defendant Kibuloy as the appointed son of God. Ay, my goodness. Ayun. Ano yung sinabi niya kahapon? Tawag dito, inalay na ron yung katawan niya sa langit. Yun ba? Kultong-kulto ah. Hindi ka appointed son, disgusting son ka. Pastorals who perform their duties to include night duty to the satisfaction of defendant Kibuloy and other KOJC administrators were rewarded by defendant Kibuloy and other KOJC administrators with privileges including trips to tourist destinations like Disneyland, flights in private jets, use of cell phone. So bawal sila mag-cellphone doon. So pero pag mahusay ka daw sa pagsisilbi mo ng night duty, papayagan ka mag-telepono. And yearly monetary payments referred to as honorariums by KOJC administrators. Ang hirap ipagtanggol ng mga abogado ni ni Kibs. Lakas na magtawag na may demonyo sa Malacanang, siya pala yung demonyo. Ito yung defendant. So, syempre, si Kibuloy, ayan, wag natin tutukan yung iba. Ayan. Puntahan natin yung ibang detalye ng kaso niya. 72 pages to, guys. Kaya, ito yung minors, 3. Ayan, withheld yung names, Withheld yung names. Minor victims KA, KP, and KF, knowing and recklessly disregarding with reasonable opportunity to observe that the child victims had not attained the age of 18 and would be caused to engage in commercial sex act in violation of Title 18 United States Code. Baka ito yung Revised Penal Code. Baka ito yung Revised Penal Code. Baka ito yung version nila ng Revised Penal Code. Meron pang ito po, oh. Victims, RE, JB, KA, KP, and KF. Knowing and recklessly disregarding that force, threats of force, fraud, and coercion as defined in Title 18, blah, blah, and any combination of such means would be used to cause victims, RE, JB, KA, KP, and KF to engage in commercial sex acts in violation of Title 18, etc., etc. Whew. So may witnesses, guys. So meron pala talaga silang may lehitimong complainant na dumaan na sa investigasyon ng District Attorney ng Amerika. 5 to. 5 as far as pastorals are concerned. 3 dun sa 5 ay bata when they fell victim into the crime of PACU. Ay. So ito nga, dinidescribe ano ba to? Means. Okay, ito yung means by which nagkaroon ng conspiracy. Bakit daw nagkaroon ng conspiracy to commit the crime? Ano daw yung objects of conspiracy? Una, ang conspiracy is between Kibuloy, Dandan, and Salinas. Nung sila ay nag-recruit ng mga babae na between 12 to 25, tapos sila ay tinuruan na maging pastorals at binigyan ng trabaho na linisin ang bahay, pakainin si Kibuloy, masahihin siya, at linisin din ang kanyang kung ano-ano pang singit. Ito pa matindi. Ano kaya tong commitment letters, no? Would instruct female victims to write commitment letters to defendant Kibuloy in which the victims would devote their lives, including their bodies, to defendant Kibuloy as the appointed son of God. May kontrata kayo? May kontrata na maging pastoral? Commitment letters eh. Na sumusulat yung mga, well, I'm not sure kung pipirmahan to ni Kibuloy kasi that will become a contract. Pero, they will write something on paper committing themselves to Kibuloy. Malamang hindi pumipirma si Kibuloy dito. Pero pinapasulat niya ng commitment letters. Sa akin lang kayo ha. Akin lang kayo. Hindi kayo pupunta sa iba. Tigas. Tigas ang buka. Ito yung conspiracy. Kibuloy, Dandan, Salinas would order female victims, including minor victims, to engage in with defendant Kibuloy on a schedule determined. May schedule pa. By defendants Kibuloy and Dandan. Ito yung conspiracy dyan. Tapos silang 3 ulit would tell the victims that obedience to defendant Kibuloy was the will of God. Alam nyo, kaya maraming tao nagagalit sa mga religious groups dahil sa mga hayop na katulad nito ni Kibuloy. Ito yung nakakainis pag nagbabasa ka ng mga ganitong klaseng bagay. Titrigger ka rin. Magagalit ka rin eh. Hayop. Mas masahol pa siya sa hayop. Sobra. Kibuloy was the obedience to defendant Kibuloy was the will of God. and that night duty was pleasing to God and a privilege and would allow the victims to obtain salvation. What the hell are you smoking? Fuck you. What the hell are you smoking? Gusto mong maligtas, dito ka sa aking kama. What the F? Kibuloy, Dandan, and Salinas would tell female victims who express hesitation at night duty that they had the devil in them and risk eternal damnation. Kibuloy and Salinas would tell victims who had performed night duty not to speak of it. Kibuloy, ito si Kibuloy lang to. Kibuloy lang yan, siya lang yan. Wala siyang conspirator. Would threaten and physically abuse victims who attempted to leave KOJC or were not available to perform night duty. Defendant Kibuloy would also physically abuse female victims for communicating with other men or engaging in other behavior that upset him. Defendant Kibuloy deemed such behavior adultery and a sin. So, ibig sabihin, kapag ba ikaw ay sumulat ng commitment letter, essentially, asawa ka na ni Kibuloy? Adultery daw eh. Adultery oh. Mga kotsero, wala pa dito yung wala pa dito yung aligasyon nung sa money laundering. Defendants Kibuloy and Salinas would retaliate against victims who escaped KOJC by harassing, threatening, and making allegations of criminal misconduct against victims. Defendant Kibuloy would give sermons broadcasted to KOJC members around the world in which he would allege that victims who escaped had engaged in criminal conduct and sexually promiscuous activity and therefore faced eternal damnation. In order to discourage other victims from leaving, retaliate against and discredit the victims, and conceal the sexual activity between Defendant Kibuloy and the victim. Alam nyo mga kotsero, sana yun? I'm not sure, I'm not sure kung I'm not sure kung I don't have the right to tell this story. Pero I have observed this happening from a person that I know. Dati siyang miyembro ng KOJC, and that says a lot. Isa siya doon sa mga scholars. Tapos, nag-work sa isa sa mga corporations ni Kibuloy. Umalis siya doon. Pag alis niya, nag-send siya sa akin ng video ng isang sermon na pinapatungkulan siya. So, akala ko sa kanya lang nangyari. Apparently, it happens to everyone. Naaalis. Ito yung spiritual advisor ni Digong? No wonder. No wonder. Si Shi Digong nyo, walang moral sa buhay. Spiritual advisor na to. Ito, overt acts. Ibig sabihin, ito. Overt acts, ibig sabihin, ito yung mga nangyari, mga ginawa. Overt ginawa. Overt acts, ang dami niyan, no? Act number 1, act number 2, act number 3, number 4, 5, 6, 7. Ang dami niyan. Gusto niyo ng kopya nito? Kung gusto niyo ng kopya nito, ito, i-download niyo dito. Tapos, kayo na bahala magbasa ng ibang detalye. Hindi ko na mabasa kasi masyadong mahaba pag dadaanan natin lahat yan. Ang dami niyan, yan. 16. Ito, on October 12, 2018, Defendant Kibuloy gave a recorded sermon in which he publicly accused victim RE of engaging in cybersex and stealing KOJC equipment. Ito rin yung sinabi dun sa kaibigan ko. Kilala ko pala. Nagnakaw daw ng gamit. Publicly accused victim BP of engaging in cybersex and publicly accused victim KA of stealing a credit card before leaving the KOJC. Alam ni Katie kasi kilala rin niya yun eh. October 12, 2018. Hanapin nga natin yung October 12, 2018 na yun. KOJC sermon. Tignan natin kung makakalkal natin. 2018. Ay kaso baka wala na kasi tinanggal na nga pala yung lumang YouTube channel nila, no? Baka wala na yun. Baka hindi na natin makikita. O ito pa lang yun dun sa ano, sa human trafficking at saka sex trafficking. Ito yung mga counts. Oh. Count 3, count 4, count 5, count 6, count 7. Count dami, men. Count 7. Oh, ito may forced labor, oh. Sa count 7. Forced labor, trafficking with respect to forced labor, document servitude, marriage fraud, fraud and misuse of visas, promotional money laundering, concealment. Punta nga natin yung ano, money laundering. Oh, ito yung ano, ito nabasa ko to kanina. Ito yung kwento nito ay kung paano sila kumukuha ng visa para sa mga empleyado nila. Ito, mahaba yan, mahabang kwento yan. So, lalampasan na natin yan. Pero essentially, ang ginagawa dito, mga kotsero, susulat sila sa embassy ng invitation letter. Pagkasulat ng invitation letter para dito sa mga dadalhin nila sa Amerika, syempre, makakarating sa Amerika, di ba? So, tapos doon sila mag-perform. Kunyari, mga church singers, choral workers daw sila. Kaso, itong nangyayari. Solicit on the streets nearly every day, year-round, working very long hours and often sleeping in cars overnight without normal access to over-the-counter medicine and at times sufficient clothing. Ay, slavery! Slavery, guys. Pagdating daw ng Amerika, ko-confiscate daw lahat ng ID. Malamang kasama passport. Tapos, bibigyan sila ng badge that identified the worker as a volunteer with CJF, with Children's Joy Foundation. Ito yung nakikita ko sa bus dati. Nagkakaroling sila sa bus. CJF. So, confirmed. Kay Kibuloy nga yun. Grabe to si Pastor Canor. Ito. Defendants Dandan, Panilag, Salinas, Kabaktulan, and Estopare and others known would set daily cash solicitation quotas for KOJC members. These quotas were increased during the months of September to October through September or October or January and February of the following year. For a period referred to as, among other terms, the month of blessings or MOB or Nights of Harvest or KOH. Workers who failed to meet their daily solicitation quotas were often punished by KOJC administrators, including defendant Salinas and Estopare, by being yelled at, shamed, berated, physically abused, or forced to fast, abstain from food while being locked in a room at the KOJC compound. Ay, mga kriminal talaga kayo. While soliciting, any expenses such as food, lodging, medical expenses came out of the group's fundraising quota for that day. For that reason, KOJC workers often skipped meals and slept in cars while fundraising for KOJC. During the may orientation pa pagdating doon. During orientation, defendants Kibuloy and Dandan encouraged workers to fundraise money for KOJC. Diyos ko. Tapos, yung mga perang nakukuha nila, Estopare would often instruct KOJC workers to deposit the cash into accounts and then wire transfer the money to other KOJC workers located in the Philippines who were designated to receive the money by KOJC administrators. Tapos, Panilag would arrange for the money to be driven back to a residence in Calabasas, California for later transport to the Philippines. While meeting with fundraising groups across the country to collect money, Defendant Panilag would provide motivational speeches to the fundraising groups to encourage workers to solicit more money. Criminal enterprise nga. Whew. Tapos yun nga, yung mga malalakas kumita, ipinapakasal doon para makapag-stay ng long term. Tsaka binibigyan ng student visa. Lampasan na natin yung sham marriages kasi ito. Nagpapadala daw sila ng less than $10,000 sa mga bank accounts para maitago sa mga bangko. Kasi nga naman, ang limit kasi pag nag $10,000 ka na, automatic sisipa ang AMLA, anti-money laundering. So less than $10,000 lang ang tinatransfer sa mga bangko. KOJC workers would provide KOJC workers approximately $9,000 in cash to carry when they return to the Philippines. The money would be rolled into socks and placed in luggage and on the person of KOJC members flying on commercial airplanes to the Philippines from the United States, or in bulk amounts stored in private jets operated by KOJC under the direction of Kibuloy. Yun. Uy, kaya pala may private jet. Kaya pala sa dinami-dami ng pastor na maayos sa Pilipinas, siya lang ang may private jet. Bigay daw ng ama. Hindi, bigay pala ni Uncle Sam. Dahil sa scam nyo. Ang tindi mo, boy. Buhay ka pa, sinusunog ka na sa impyerno. Ano kayang ginawa ni alam kaya ito ni Shidigong? Alam kaya ito ni Sarah? Uncle Sam, Amerika. Ang sinasabi niya kasi, yung pera daw niya ay bigay sa kanya ng Diyos Ama. Hindi pala galing sa Diyos Ama. Galing pala kay Uncle Sam. Ayan, no? Money solicited in the United States, although advertised by KOJC and CJF as designated to aid impoverished Filipino children, would be used to directly finance certain KOJC-related operations in the Philippines and United States and the lavish lifestyle of KOJC members, leaders, as directed by Defendants Kibuloy and Dandan. Si Dandan talaga yung kanang kamay niya, no? Defendants would retaliate against members who escaped KOJC by harassing, threatening, and making allegations of criminal misconduct against former members. O, ito na, yung pati yung yung tawag dito, pagbo-broadcast sa kanila. Gusto kong malaman yung yung magkano. May mga nakita akong amounts kanina eh. Pakita ko sa inyo. Para masaya. On or about December 5, 2015, Defendant Salinas sent a message to KOJC worker in Tagalog telling the worker to collect at least $700 and the pastor's wish for the worker to collect $1,000. Woo! Grabe. Ito, meron pang isa na text message, sabi, minimum is $300. Woo! My goodness, 15,000 pesos per day. Wow! Wow! Daily, Christina T. Daily siya, daily. Grabe. Shucks. May nakuhang dokumento ang sabi, immigration status and whether each KOJC worker was income or non-income. May ganun. Imagine yung pagkatao mo, no, nire-reduce sa kung nagpapasok ka ng pera sa hindi. Sakit naman. O, ito yung pera, oh. October 31, 2016, $5,000 received a cash deposit 5,337. Uy, laki ah. 5,000. Grabe. Tapos yung isa naman, $8,000. Tapos meron pa isa, October 31, 2016, same day, may pumasok na $2,000 tsaka $6,000. November 1, 2016, $6,300. November 7, 2016, $9,000. Same day, $1,500 at saka $3,000. Woo! Woo! Grabe! Grabe. Grabe. Ang lalaki ng amount, guys. Grabe. Hindi ko alam kung nakita niyo na ito sa ibang vlogger, pero masama ang paloob. Kabaktulan sent a text message to a KOJC worker stating, since May 29, you guys started doing FR and every Sunday for tribute. Can you give me your individual income for that? Your total contribution for tribute is only $300+. Unbelievable! Grabe. Ay no. O to. Received separate cash deposits of $5,000. October 20, 2017, $1,850. Tapos, ano ba? Ito po. Hindi, pang ano na to, tuition fee. Nagbabayad ng tuition fee para dun sa para dun sa peking estudyante. Talagang ginagastosan nila, oh. Ayan, tuition fee. Okay. Meron pa ditong isa, nabasa ko kanina. Nag-uwi si Kibuloy mismo ang nag-uwi ng $300 something thousand. On or about January 29, 2020, Defendant Dueñas possessed a memorandum dated March 6. Financial goal for 2018, the goal was 23 million Philippine pesos. Meron pa 2018 Hawaii, oh. Saan ba yun? Hanapin ko nga. Wait. Yung kay Kibuloy mismo, yung nag-uwi siya ng pera. Grabe, oh. Mga cheque. Nagbayad sila ng mansion sa Calabasas. $13,000. $13,000, 2017, no? Ay, grabe. May mansion siya sa States, $13,000. O ito, mga deposits po, dagdag po. Ang dami, oh. $4,000, pinakamalaki. Ito, 5,000 pala. Pinakamalaki. Grabe si Gibbs. Wire transfer, $30,000. Wire transfer, $30,000 to the executive pastor of Kingdom of Jesus Christ Banco de Oro account in the Philippines. $30,000, guys. Diyos ko, $30,000. Grabe. Oh. Ito pa, wire transfer $6,000. Wire transfer $38,935. Grabe, tindi. Asa na kay Kibuloy mismo? Wait. Ini-circle ko yung kanina eh. Tindi nito, no? Sa LA yung Calabasas, yes. Asa na yung kay Kibuloy mismo? Yung nilagay niya sa maleta niya. May nabasa ako kanina eh. O baka mali lang ako intindi. Eto, to. February 13, 2018, Defendant Kibuloy cost approximately $335,000 and $9,000 in Australian currency to be loaded into his luggage for transportation from Calabasas, California to Davao City, Philippines. Pa-compute nga magkano ang $335,000? Money laundering nga to, guys. Large scale pa to. Money laundering. $18.7 million. Kinarga mo sa luggage. Money laundering talaga yan. Money laundering talaga yan. Daming number. May 16.7, may 18.7, may 19.8. Ano ba talaga? Money laundering talaga yan. Ay, lumampas ka lang ng $10,000, money laundering na eh. Ako na nga titingin, iba-iba yung number nyo. Wait lang. 335,000 USD to PHP. $18.7 million. Wala, money laundering na talaga yan. Yun na talaga yan. That's it. Diyan pa lang eh, sa iisang count na yan eh. Money laundering na yan eh. $10,000 lang para pumasok ka sa money laundering. $10,000. Kaya nga di ba pag magpupunta kayo abroad, lalo yung mga lagi nagpupunta abroad dito na viewers natin. Di ba, nino-notify kayo, wag kayo di ba, pinapa-declare kayo, magkano ang dala yung pera, at higit ba ito sa $10,000? O, kasi dahil dyan, money laundering. Tapos sasabihin niya, ako na mabuting tao. Naalala niyo yun, sinabi niya kahapon? Ako na mabuting tao. Ay, tigas ng muka. Tigas ng muka. Kinarga niya mismo sa eroplano. Pinasok sa private plane niya. Ay, Diyos ko. Sabi ni Mary Jane, ayun, 10K lang sa US ang pwede tapos i-declare mo pa. Correct. Kasi anything beyond $10,000 will be considered money laundering. Kaya nga meron tayong AMLA, Anti-Money Laundering, AMLAC, Anti-Money Laundering Council. Tapos sasabihin niya, ako na mabuting tao, etc. Oh, come on. What an ass. I'm sorry. Alam ko hindi naman ako palamura dito sa channel ko. Pero kapag topic tong si Pastor Kanor talaga, mapapamura ka kahit ayaw mo eh. Ay, Diyos ko. Kaya ganun. Tapos sasabihin niya, tao dito, yung kaso niya is peke. Trumped up charges. Gusto lang siyang ipapatay ng Marcos administration. 2018 mo pa ginawa tong krimen na to. Ulitin, papakita ko lang guys ha. Ayan ha, February 13, 2018. Sino man presidente niyan? Di ba si Digong? Alam kaya ni Digong? At kung alam niya, ba't wala siyang ginawa? Akala ko ba kamay na bakal? Akala ko ba galit sa kriminal? Langya. Kaya pala kating-kate na pag-resignin si presidente, lagay si Sara. Ang tindi ng kaso niya. Tindi ng kaso na ito eh. O tapos kahapon pinagtatanggol pa ng mga Duterte Balahura supporters. Diyos ko talaga, buti nakalkal ko to. Buti nakalkal ko to. Kasi alam nyo mga kotsero, so far kasi, ang naririnig kan lang kasi natin ay yung mga testimonya ng mga tao, yung hearing ni Risa Ontiveros, yung hearing tungkol sa SMNI, etc. etc. Pero hindi tayo nakakita ng dokumento. Wala tayong nakikita ng dokumento. Ito dokumento. Ito yung kailangang sagutin ng 20 abogado ni Pacquiao. No wonder marireset. Reset to lang reset eh. Ang hirap labanan nito, lalo na kung meron silang matibay na ebidensya. Ano kaya? Ano kaya labanan to? Good luck! So mga kotsera, maraming po salamat sa inyo patuloy na pagsuporta sa ating channel. Huwag niyo po kalimutan mag-subscribe sa Coach Jared YouTube channel and pa-follow na rin po tayo sa ating Facebook page para like kayo updated sa mga ganap dito sa ating channel. I'll see all of you in the next Coach Jared Live! See you guys. Bye. God bless. Pag ganun, huwag natin gawing tanga mga Pilipino. Mas maganda kasi nasa lugar ka ng tama kaysa yung pinipilit mo yung pagkakamali. Are they willing to go that far? Hindi nakakalimutan ng Pilipino yan hanggat di nasasagot niya. Sino ngayon nagsasabi ng totoo?